Willkommen. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Sean Huggins. This is React with Hugs. Thank you so much for being here today. Oh baby, look at this video we got planned for today. This is ALDI, the best grocery store on earth. Unhinged case studies from the Fat Files. Linked in the description. As always, to the original video. I've never seen anything from the Fat Files, but that's a funny name for a YouTube channel. So we're just going to see why he thinks ALDI is the best grocery store on earth. Let's find out together. Let's get.
All right, Unhinged Case Studies, Grocery Store Edition. Today we're talking about my favorite grocery store. Ladies and gentlemen, ALDI. I'm probably going to refer to it as ALDI's at least 50 times during this video because I'm from Iowa and that's what we call it here. Anyways, first a disclaimer and an ad. I'm not affiliated with ALDI in any way, shape, or form. They have not paid me to say anything I am about to say. I am, however, affiliated with today's sponsor, my favorite sporting goods store, Shields. They're legitimately the best sporting goods store that I have ever been to in person. They have over 30 retail locations all across the United States, but if you can't make it to one, they have an even better online store with price matching and satisfaction guaranteed. I'm going to have that link down below. Let's get back to the video. ALDI is a grocery store that does things completely different than any other grocery store that I've ever been to, and that is probably because they were founded in Germany in 1946. If you don't know, World War II ended in 1945, and living in Germany right after World War II was straight up not a good time. A ton of Germany's cities and infrastructure had essentially been reduced to rubble during World War II, and the entire country was going through a humongous economic depression to the point that people were doing the whole stereotypical wheelbarrow full of money to buy a loaf of bread thing. Okay, if you're not picking up what I'm putting down, I'm trying to tell you that the founders of ALDI, Carl and Theo Albrecht, are playing entrepreneur on hardcore mode. And obviously they did a good job at it because ALDI is a humongous chain of grocery stores today. So how on earth did these two brothers launch a successful chain of grocery stores in Germany in 1946? They kept it simple. They were goal-oriented. They wanted to make money and they knew that not everybody had a lot of money to spare, so they needed to sell everything cheap. In order to do that, they said, we're not going to have 50 different flavors from 12 different companies of every type of product. We're just going to have one of everything. Like instead of having 15 different types of peanut butter, we just have one type of peanut butter. And that's how they got their products to be cheap, by focusing their buying power. Now, that's the simple part, but where the true genius comes out is that they realized that they weren't going to make a lot of money per customer, so they had to maximize the amount of customers that they had. In order for that to happen, they realized that they needed customers to get in, get their shit, and get out so that more customers could come in. So they German engineered this entire grocery store to streamline the entire shopping experience to make it as fast as humanly possible.
Starting with the cashiers, at least in Germany, the German ALDI cashiers they could be Formula One drivers, how fast they are.
And oh boy did that work, because in the first 10 years, they went from one grocery store to 300 grocery stores. Then the two brothers, Carl and Theo, got in a huge fight because one of the brothers wanted to have cigarettes in the grocery store and the other brother adamantly was opposed to it. So they decided that they were going to split their massive business completely in half. They were going to have ALDI's North and ALDI's South. They literally just drew a line across Germany, said all these grocery stores are mine, all the ones down there are yours. Yeah, capitalism and communism are split in Germany east to west. ALDI's is splitting it north to south. But here's the thing, the brothers didn't have a falling out. They still worked together and they still wanted the other brother to succeed. So they were constantly sharing information with one another and they would come together to make offers with manufacturers.
I wonder which one ended up being more successful. More locations, more revenue, more profit, all that stuff. Interesting.
When they were buying so that they could utilize their buying power together. So you have ALDI's North and ALDI's South, basically the same thing. The only real difference is one sells cigarettes and they have a slightly different logo. Now, in America, due to trademark law, you can't have two grocery stores with the same exact name and a slightly different logo. So in America, we have ALDI and then we have Trader Joe's. But really, it's all just ALDI, and they kept to the principles of cheap and fast until modern
Trader Joe's is ALDI North? Oh my God.
Day, which is something that no other grocery store in America has managed to do. Not only have they not managed to do it, they intentionally do the opposite. Pretty much every other grocery store on the planet has figured out that time equals money, and the more time you spend in their store is the more money they can get out of you. Okay, I know that you've been in one of these.
So American grocery stores, giant and tons of options so that you spend more money because you spend more time there. Time is money. ALDI, the complete opposite. They want you to come in and out as quick as possible. Interesting.
These gigantic grocery stores, but I'm going to go ahead and break it down for you anyways, okay? You walk through the door, congratulations, you've just entered capitalism's obesity thunderdome, because everything in this room is pretty much designed to hurt you, more or less. The first thing you're going to notice is that you're there for milk. Well, congratulations, the milk is all the way across the store in the far back corner.
Let's take a look at this map. You entered down here, and of course, you have the flowers and coffee right at the beginning. That is for sure always the case in American grocery stores. You got the coffee so that you impulse buy. You're like, you know what? I could use a Starbucks right now. And then you got the flowers right next to it. And you're like, you know what? I could get some flowers for my girlfriend or my wife. Or you know what? I need a nice flower for my living room or something. Yep. And then for the most used stuff, the milk and bread and meat and, you know, the most common stuff, you have to go through the whole store all the way to the back. Yep, this checks out.
And they stuck it there on purpose because they know you need it, and now you have to walk past every fucking aisle in the store to get to it. And pretty much every single aisle there is full of products where they have hired a psychologist to design boxes with pretty colors to trigger your lizard brain to being like, oh my God, I have to have it. They're trying.
I don't have a lizard brain. I have a monkey brain.
To get you to buy as much shit as humanly possible on your way to get milk, bread, and eggs. And I know what you're thinking. All those fancy marketing tactics don't work on me. Maybe, but hear me out. Next time you're in there, just do some people watching. You're going to notice that a portion of the population, their brain can't handle going to a modern grocery store. They turn into zombies. They're pushing their cart, veering side to side. They can't even keep it straight as their head's turning to look at all the different pretty colors. There's people straight up just standing still at a wall of cereal like... as their brain desperately tries to calculate and process all this information regarding what type of Cheerios they need. There's people standing there with 2 different types of ranch in each hand, probably made from the same exact factory with the same exact ingredients, but they have different labels on them from different companies, and they don't know which one is going to be better for them.
Yeah, this is definitely true. In America, we have every different option for everything in the world in one place, every grocery store. It's overwhelming. And then, you know, even if you want to just shop for the best deals, like even if you don't care about having a bunch of different crazy weird items and you're just like, okay, what's the best option for eggs? A very normal thing, but it's like there's 5 different options for eggs and then different sizes and then different prices. And it's like, okay, well, which one is the best price for the size for the, so you can spend a bunch of time even just trying to, you know, find good deals and not even giving into all the marketing stuff. There's just so many options to even consider, even if you're not impulse buying stuff.
It's like the island of the lotus eaters from Greek mythology. They go there for one thing and then they're stuck there for all of eternity. It's literally purgatory. This is why every other grocery store in America isn't just a grocery store. They also have a coffee shop and a little restaurant and a florist and a pharmacy and a bank where you can cash your check. They're trying to get any excuse to get you to come into their store for a second because they know once you set foot in there, you're going to be in there for at least an hour and a half trying to figure out what type of products you need. And if that doesn't convince you that they're trying to trap you in there, checking out in a grocery store today will, okay? The first thing you're going to notice with your cart full of groceries, there's 30 different lanes. One of them is open and it's the one furthest away from the door. So obviously you're going to have to spend some time waiting in line because there's only one checkout register open and it moves
I think especially since COVID, this has become exceptionally bad where most grocery stores, at least in America, has almost all self-checkout lanes and then maybe like one actual person working as a cashier. And every store, it seems like every store is trying to push towards self-checkout. And then they have like one worker monitoring all of the self-checkout lanes, like, 10 different self-checkout lanes has one person working, overseeing all of them. And then there's like one actual cashier, even though there's 30 lanes that you could have cashiers at. And, I think since COVID, companies, again, at least in America, they realized like, we don't have to pay 10 people to work as cashiers. We can pay 2 people to work as cashiers and make everybody do all their own cashier activities by doing self-checkout. This saves us quite a lot of money. Let's do that instead. So it's very common to have 30 different lanes for cashiers and only one of them open. and it's
slower
very
than
annoying.
the DMV in Zootopia. And while you're waiting, you probably couldn't help but notice that there is a mountain of candy on either side of you as they desperately try to make that one last sale. But you avoid temptation, and it is now your turn. You're up next. You are getting checked out at the grocery store. You're almost out of here. And that's when you realize that this has now turned into an interrogation. Okay, they're going to open up by taunting you. They're going to say something along the lines of, did you find everything you were looking for today, sir? They know. They know you found everything you were looking for because you just stood in line that says, I found all the shit I needed. But they're going to go ahead and rub it in your face because they knew it took you forever to figure out which flavor of ranch that you wanted. And just for the record, when I say they're taunting you, I'm not talking about the cashier themselves. They're just doing their job. They're doing what they were told to do. The CEO of the company, on the other hand, is laughing his ass off at you. I was a cashier at a grocery store for 5 years, and in 5 years, 0 people said they didn't find everything they were looking for. Okay, that entire question is just to fuck with you. But this is the portion where they're going to start playing hardball. They want to harvest as much information as possible. It's going to be like, oh, did you have our fucking little super duper saver card where you spend $800 in groceries and we give you like 12 cents off of a gallon of gas? And you're going to be like, no, I don't. Oh, did you want one? No, I don't, because I know for a fact that as soon as I give you my name, my email address, my address, and my phone number, you're going to turn around and sell it to a data broker, and then I'm going to have robots calling my phone for the next 10 fucking years because that's exactly why they asked for that information, so they can turn around and sell it. Because there is a total of 0 gigantic superstores that are giving away shit for free, okay? Nothing is ever free. If it's free, it's because you're the product. And then because you had the audacity to tell them no, they're going to shame more money out of you. They're going to hit you with the old, did you want to round your total up today for puppies with maggots in their eyes? Really? You're gonna hit me with that with a full line of people behind me? For real? Every time we get all the maggots out of a puppy's eyes, we donate it to an orphanage so they have some type of family. Also, by the way, fuck, fine, okay, I'll take the money, whatever, just give me my groceries, I have to go. Okay, so that's your average grocery store, but Aldi's, on the other hand, is a goddamn masterpiece, okay? Can German engineering win a world war? Absolutely not, but holy fuck can it build a grocery store, because immediately upon approaching Aldi's, you're gonna be like, oh, all the carts are outside. That's fine, I'm gonna go grab one. And as you're walking towards the carts, you see the enormous "We're hiring" banner across the front of the store, and it says that they pay all their employees anywhere between $18.50 and $25 an hour starting rate. So now you're already kind of feeling good because, hey, this company takes care of their employees.
What? People that earn a living wage? Huh? Interesting. Never heard of it.
Then you get to the shopping carts and you're like, oh shit, you actually have to take a quarter, stick it into this little slot, and unlock it from all the other carts. And at first you're like, oh, that's a really clever idea because now people are going to put their own carts back so they can keep their quarter. That way they're going to save a bunch of money on labor by not having to have somebody go drag carts in from the parking lot all day long. And that's true, that is part of it. But the other part that you're not thinking about, this is actually an IQ test, you see, because if you're not fucking smart enough to remember to bring a quarter, guess what? You can't really shop here. And that doesn't sound like a big deal, but I'm telling you right now.
Oh, dude, an IQ test. That's amazing.
Now it's a huge deal because as soon as you step into Aldi's, you're going to notice a distinct lack of motherfuckers in the way. Everybody in there is there to get their shit.
Well, look how big the aisles are. The aisles are really wide in Aldi, I feel like, compared to a lot of other traditional American grocery stores. The aisles are probably a lot more narrow so that they can fit more crap inside of the building, you know,
and get out because they have stuff to do. Speaking of which, as soon as you walk into the store, there's no like grand opening area where you get to like walk down all the other aisles and like weave in and out and do all this bullshit. You walk in, you're in aisle 1. You have to turn left. There's only one way to go. Now all of the traffic is going the same fucking direction. It's engineered to perfection. You walk in the door, you go down aisle 1, you go down aisle 2, you go down aisle 3, you go down aisle 4, and then there's checkout because there's only 4 aisles in Aldi's. It's perfect. Aldi's is 1/4 the size of your average grocery store, and it only stocks about 1,600 items, and your average grocery store stocks over 30,000 items.
Oh my gosh. This says Aldi only stocks about 1,400 items compared to 40,000 at traditional supermarkets. Crazy. 40,000.
And at first you're like, well, that doesn't sound very good. But no, it's actually perfect because guess what? You need Cheerios? They've got Cheerios, but it's only one type of Cheerios. You don't have people standing in the middle of the aisle, clogging up traffic, taking forever. Grab your Cheerios and keep it moving. Buh! Generic brands never taste as good as a name brand. Buh! I mean, sometimes sure, but like 90% of the time, it's the same exact product made in the same factory and it just has a different box. And Aldi knows that, and they went out of their way to prove it. And to prove it, they went to the biggest brand snobs on the planet, wine people. You know, the same people that can apparently waft or taste a wine and be able to tell how wet or how dry it was the year that those grapes were harvested. Yeah, Aldi enters wine competitions and wins all the time with their $5 bottle of wine. So now...
What? Hold on a second. Dude, Aldi has wine. I actually never noticed wine in Aldi, and I actually shopped there. That's interesting. $5 bottles of wine that actually win awards. Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Aldi enters wine competitions and wins all the time with their $5 bottle of wine. So now it's time to check out. You get to the checkout lane, everything looks completely normal. It's like every other checkout lane in every other grocery store that you've ever been to, except for it's not. This is not your normal cashier.
The cashiers are also allowed to sit down in Aldi, which is also a small but also a big difference at the same time compared to American grocery stores where cashiers are not allowed to sit down, because if you're sitting down while you're working, you're lazy and you can't be as efficient. Yes, if you're comfortable while you're working, you're not going to be working as hard as you could be. Of course.
This is like the NASCAR pit crew of cashiers. This is the fastest person at ringing out groceries you've ever met in your entire life. He's going to get to your groceries on the little conveyor belt. He's going to acknowledge that you exist, like, how's it going? And then you're going to say good, and then you're going to look down and all your groceries are already back in your cart. And that's when you're going to be like, oh shit, what is happening right now? And you're going to realize that he's not standing up like every other grocery store on the planet. He's sitting down in a chair, and you're going to be like, that's kind of cool. And then in the back of your head, you're going to be like, wait a minute, why did the grocery store that I worked at for 5 years all through high school make me stand up for absolutely no reason? Hi V, give me an answer. I know what you're going to say. You're going to say because sitting down doesn't look professional, okay? Listen to me.
No.
That's fucking dumb. Just because you're making money and working doesn't mean you need to be physically uncomfortable for no fucking reason, okay? Then you're going to look over at your
Yo, this guy is unhinged. I love it.
groceries and you're going to be like, oh shit, every single box or every single product has like 5 barcodes on it. That way the cashier doesn't have to search around for a barcode. He can just kind of whip it across the laser and it's going to catch it every time. That's how he managed to ring your groceries up at the speed of light. And then the cashier is going to give you your total, and it's literally like half of what you were expecting it was going to be, because apparently the front door at Aldi is a magical portal that takes you into the past where groceries used to be cheap. So then you grab your cart full of groceries, walk off to the side, there's a huge counter with a bunch of boxes. You put your groceries in the boxes, put them in your cart, take that shit out to your car, and you're done. You went.
Yeah, the boxes that the bulk food orders come in. So it's not only reusing the cardboard boxes that the grocery store is ordering the big bulk orders of food in, but it's also meaning that Aldi has less stuff that they need to recycle or, get rid of. So it's even more efficient. Whoa, so efficient.
The entire store, you went through every aisle and got through checkout in literally less than 10 minutes. It's amazing. So yeah, that's Aldi's entire MO. Be fast and be cheap. And it works out amazing. They're the only grocery store in the country that I'm aware of that is just trying to be a grocery store. What do? They sell groceries. They don't have a pharmacist. They don't have a florist. They don't have a bank where you can cash your check. They don't even have a customer service counter, and you can't call them. They don't take phone calls from the public. You can go on their website and they straight up tell you, yeah, we don't take phone calls from the public because our employees' time is too valuable because they're busy selling groceries. And a lot of people probably think that that's horrible customer service, and maybe they're right, but what you're not considering is a lot of people don't always want good customer service, okay? Me, personally, I don't want to be Nick. I don't want to be an individual that needs to be treated special when I'm in the grocery store. I just want to be treated like a number. I want to get through this process as fast as humanly possible so I can get back to doing stuff that I actually care about, and I think a lot of other people feel the exact same way. And I know that because Aldi has been the fastest growing grocery store in the country for years now, and according to the Food Institute, they are ranked the #1 grocery store according to consumers. And you want to know who's #2? Trader Joe's, which is also Aldi. They are at first and second place. They are quite literally just competing with themselves to be #1, and I'm pretty sure it's because they're the only ones that are just trying to be a grocery store. As it turns out, when you only care about doing one thing, you end up being pretty good at it. And I think that's the big takeaway from this case study. Aldi's key to success is they figured out the one thing they wanted to do, then they figured out how to do it fast, cheap, and still deliver a good product, and everything else just works out. Meanwhile, all the other grocery stores were too worried about competing with Walmart, and now they're not even really grocery stores anymore. They're just Walmart knockoffs that don't sell video games. So in conclusion, that's how Aldi became the last true grocery store. If you have a company that you want me to talk about next, let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, thanks for watching.
Wow, okay, that was awesome. And I have to agree, I think that Aldi is probably the best grocery store that I can think of. I mean, for all the reasons he said, it's just so efficient. Like, when I go to the big grocery stores in America, it's very rare that I actually need some very small obscure, really specific item that's out of the ordinary. You know, some recipes or sometime every now and then, maybe I want something that only the really large American grocery stores have, but 99% of the time, it's all the basic stuff. It's the bread, the meat, the cheese, the milk, the eggs, like it's all that kind of stuff. And obviously Aldi has that, and they definitely have a lot of great deals. I think that Aldi is probably me and Issa's favorite place to get groceries, but she could be biased because she is German. I'm not sure. Either way though, a fun video and a very funny, unhinged video, and I like that. But I'm curious what you guys, the experts, have to say about it. So as always, leave your mustard down in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. Is Aldi really the best grocery store in the entire world? Or maybe it's Rewe, or maybe Lidl, or maybe it's an American grocery store because there's so many options. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts. I'm curious what you guys have to say about it. But that's all the time that I have for today. So thank you guys so much for being here, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.